Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes viral for absolutely insane answer to question regarding Ezekiel Elliott. The Dallas Cowboys, like all other NFL teams, have started their 2024 rookie minicamp. It is during this time that the 8 new drafted rookies and 12 undrafted free agent signees will begin their quests to hopefully make the final 53-man roster. In addition to these players, practice squad players from last season and others that are present for a tryout are involved in these early practices. Rookie minicamp is also a great time for the media to meet with the Cowboys coaches to discuss off-season moves and their goals for the upcoming season. Of course, this year will be a big year for head coach Mike McCarthy, who is entering the final year of his contract. It appears that Dallas will need to have a deep playoff run. They were eliminated on Wild Card Weekend by the Green Bay Packers this past year, in order for him to have a chance to come back. Earlier this offseason, the Cowboys lost running back Tony Pollard to free agency. He signed a 3-year $24 million deal with the Tennessee Titans. In order to help make up for losing him, Dallas decided to re-sign one of the best running backs in franchise history, Ezekiel Elliott. Elliott was a first-round pick by the Cowboys in 2016 and had one of the best tenures for a running back in franchise history. His 8,262 rushing yards between 2016 and 2022 rank third in franchise history behind Emmitt Smith and Tony Dorsett. Elliott, however, is not the running back he once was. Last season with the New England Patriots, he ran for 642 yards and 3 touchdowns, the lowest marks of his career. During a media session that took place after practice at rookie minicamp, Coach McCarthy was asked about what it was like to have Elliott back on the team. He replied, "He's an old-school guy. He'll go up and smack a 60-year-old man in the and it hurts. It's those kinds of things that you just enjoy him, not that I enjoy getting smacked in the Polarizing X1st rounder tabbed as Cowboys' potential Dak Prescott replacement. Now, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, we can be all but certain that Dak Prescott will be the Cowboys' quarterback in 2024. He is under contract and an enormous price, $55 million, that would make him a cumbersome trade candidate. Besides which, Prescott is coming off a year in which he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, an MVP candidate who finished second in the award voting behind Lamar Jackson. Still, at Cowboys Wire, they're already thinking next. Prescott is slated to be a free agent in 2025, after all. And among the possible Prescott replacements the site tabbed for the Cowboys, one is especially interesting: former Bears quarterback Justin Fields, who now appears to be Russell Wilson's backup in Pittsburgh. Fields could beat out Wilson, but if he does not, he would make sense as a make-good target next season. Fields is the younger of the two, by far, so the hope in Steel City would be for Fields to outplay Wilson and fall in love with the environment, writer K.D. Drummond noted. But there's a clear window where Fields can prove himself to be starter-worthy and also not end up back in Pittsburgh. If that's the case, then Dallas may have interest if Prescott is no longer around. There is a lot of pressure on Prescott and the Cowboys in 2024, especially if the stalemate on a new contract remains in place and Prescott is eligible for free agency. He threw for 4,516 yards last season, with 35 touchdowns and just 9 interceptions, quelling concerns about the 15 interceptions he threw the previous season. At Pro Football Focus, he racked up a season grade of 90.0, fourth among all quarterbacks in the NFL. He could well be set up to do that again, especially if the retooled Cowboys' offensive line can come together quickly and remain healthy. That is a big if, but Prescott has shown he can make good even without top-tier protection. However, the Cowboys are not after another great regular season showing from Prescott. They're looking to finally make some progress in the playoffs, where Prescott has gone just 2-5. and with Prescott heading into the final year of his contract, the feeling is that if Dallas flops in the postseason again, the team will let him go in free agency and find a new guy in his place. Fields would make some sense. But he remains a polarizing quarterback, a player who has obvious talent but one the Bears could never maximize in the 3 seasons after they traded up to pick him 11th in 2021. Fields is an exceptional running ability who has struggled when he needs to be a drop-back passer. He did improve this season. He ran for 1,157 yards in 2022, on 10.7 carries per game, and curbed his rushing somewhat this season. He still had 9.5 carries per game, and totaled 657 yards. But he got better as a passer, averaging 197.1 yards per game, the best total of his 3-year career. He completed 61.4% of his passes and threw 9 interceptions for a 2.4% interception rate. Those were all career bests. After going 1-5 to start the year with Fields under center, the Bears went 4-3 in their final 7 games with him. That relatively strong finish threw into question the team's plans at quarterback, but ultimately the Bears picked Caleb Williams number 1 and traded Fields. Now Fields is in limbo. The Cowboys' quarterback position could land in limbo, too. Maybe there's a match there. Cowboys rival QB named potential bridge replacement for Dak Prescott. The Dallas Cowboys may have to prepare for life without Dak Prescott. The 3-time Pro Bowl quarterback is on the verge of entering the final year of his deal with Dallas. While the Cowboys remain adamant that they want to sign the 30-year-old quarterback for the long term, there's no guarantee that will be the case. As pitched by Cowboys Wire's K.D. Drummond, he mentions New York Giants quarterback Daniel Jones as one of several potential replacements for Prescott. Drummond mentions Jones as the worst nightmare of the 8 potential replacements, but says he could be a bridge quarterback if the Cowboys are forced to sign one in free agency next offseason. Nevertheless, they'll likely be in the market again next offseason, and that could range from signing Prescott as a FA or going back into the draft, writes Drummond. Either way, Jones will hit the FA market as someone who was clearly overdrafted and unable to do anything but be a bus driver, in the negative connotation. But as a bridge guy to transition to a draft pick QB? He's in the realm of possibilities. The 26-year-old Jones has served as the Giants' starting quarterback since he was selected with the 6th overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft. However, he's had just one successful season as a starter, going 9-6-1 during the 2022 season while leading New York to the playoffs and a postseason win. During his most efficient season as a starter, Jones posted 15 passing touchdowns against just 5 interceptions with a 92.5 passer rating while rushing for 7 touchdowns and 708 yards in 2022. After signing a 4-year, $160 million contract extension during the 2023 offseason, Jones flopped in a major way. The 26-year-old quarterback went 1-5 with just 2 touchdowns against 6 interceptions with a career low, and NFL worst among all starting quarterbacks, 70.5 passer rating. By comparison, the Giants actually went 5-6 without Jones in the lineup with Tyrod Taylor and undrafted rookie quarterback Tommy DeVito as the starters. Outside of his 2022 season, Jones holds a career 13-30 record. Jones also has a major issue when it comes to ball security, leading the league with 24 fumbles lost and ranking second with 46 overall fumbles since the 2019 season. Again, Jones would not be the ideal replacement for Prescott. However, if the Cowboys are unable to trade for a quarterback in the event Prescott leaves in free agency, Jones would be one of the better options by default. Jones is technically under contract through the 2026 season, but could be released during the 2025 offseason with a dead cap hit of just over $22 million. Considering the Giants could be in rebuilding mode next offseason with an eye towards their future franchise quarterback in the 2025 NFL Draft, the likely scenario sees New York move on from Jones. Among the top quarterbacks in next year's free agency will be Jared Goff, Jordan Love and Tua Tagovailoa. However, all three of those players are entrenched as the franchise quarterbacks of their respective teams and are expected to sign new deals with their current squads. The Cowboys currently have no quarterbacks under contract for the 2025 season, with backups Cooper Rush and Trey Lance also hitting free agency. It may not be a dream scenario for Cowboys fans, but the idea of Jones landing in Dallas as an insurance or bridge option next offseason is a possibility. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Daniel Jones? Leave your opinion in the comments.